Hey, Brad.
Zachariah, how's the hunting?
I've got your last specimen.
Tell me you did! The shield-toed skin! Wonderful! Oh, what you have done for science! You are invaluable. I am forever indebted. You've given me years of study, and when I finally publish, you, my friend, will find your name in the acknowledgements.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
Not much news in Ophir about Aurora defeating Abundance. You heard anything?
Word is that Green Hope's defeat brought an end to the fighting. Aurora apparently took control of the hydroponics center using militia alongside Technomancers to support their army. And at first, Wisdom showed himself a worthy military strategist, using the militia in battle. Such people, properly motivated, can be surprisingly effective. You'd have to bear witness to the poorer classes of Aurora to fully grasp how badly they were mistreated, to fully grasp how much the mere promise of a place in the council would motivate them to fight, to fully grasp how it helped to deliver quite a blow to Abundance. And while Aurora adopted new strategies, Abundance remained predictable. They had almost no Technomancers, since it's becoming harder to find them in Ophir with each passing day. An interesting development, yes? And one that wiped out their army.
Yeah, thanks for the info. I need allies to fight Victor in the ASC.
And so you come to me. Well, I'm sorry, Zachariah. Alliances of that magnitude must be built on trust. A trust you have not yet earned, I'm sorry to say. No offense taken, I hope, but this isn't for me. It's for the people of Noctis, for all the merchants across Mars. I can't frivolously put the well-being of all of them at risk. I wish you the best of luck, though, Zachariah.
Here we come.
Someone sounds excited.
Well, duh, the landscape's drop-dead gorgeous. As for the city, integrating with the valley's natural overhangs and alcoves to avoid using a metal dome, pure genius. Makes me worry about getting fried. And we'll always be strangers there.
For now, most mutants don't have an innate hatred for humans. We just need to give them time to heal.
Still, we'll never be able to walk a mile in their shoes. And for that, we'll always be outsiders. I ain't mad, though. If I were them, it'd be my personal mission to fuck up every single humanoid who said good day to me.
Don't stress out about the roof. You won't be instantly mutated. I have heard tales. But yeah, what a beautiful place. Natural, organic, how refreshing. Humans should take notes.
This city makes me sad.
You're not gonna cry, are ya? I just had these seats cleaned.
I mean, I think I would have liked to, know before of its success. It's all right. Sad is too grandiose. Wistful, yes, wistful. By Jove, I've done it.
Greetings, Zachariah.
I think it's time I answered Victor's constant attacks. I'm gonna need help, though.
That's what family is for, Zachariah. We are family, united by the mutual suffering inflicted by Victor. His time to pay for all he's done has come. We are united in that.
Now that we are at full strength, we must devise a way to compromise Victor's popularity at the Assembly.
I've got a lead. There's this grizzled old general who's been bitching about the lack of info he gets about Aurora. Right now, he's the only one with the balls to call Victor the Dictator incompetent. According to him, the Aurora Dowser's down shit creek and may have been booted off his post. If we can prove that General is right, it isn't just some senile old man. Maybe the Army's head honchos will be pissed enough at the Colonel to kick his buns in the sun.
We would need hard evidence.
I'm almost positive that Dandolo can help us. Noctis sends merchants everywhere, after all.
We also have some connections with Technomancers over there. They should be able to tell us what happened.
We could try Anton. Aurora's a little far, but there's no place that's safe from Anton's little birds.
It's a start.
Even if abundance is run from the top down, members of the Assembly would pay attention to uprisings. Some of your local allies could help you stir up some anger in the masses. The ASC has made their lives miserable for months. People are arrested on a whisper, live huddled in fear. It would not take much to spark the powder keg.
And some politicians would turn against Victor, so as not to lose voter support. Brilliant! We would need instigators, preferably those in touch with the people's needs.
So I was thinking, the opposition would be the perfect organization to spearhead the revolts. The alternative, though I would be more hesitant, the Vori could likely produce the same results with different methods.
Perfect. Other ideas?
Back when I was an artist, I got into some altercations with Assembly members who thought my shows were blasphemy. Maybe it was because I didn't say "Hail to the Shadow" 50 times. I can't say for sure, but if we could get them to think that Victor isn't a devout believer, we could get the large religious sect of the Assembly to revoke their support and demand his banishment. Or we could just give them a little nudge in the right direction by making them believe Victor steals relics for his own use.
We'd have to stage an elaborate setup, but I like it. After all, Trickster must get what he gives. We'll need volunteers that can pretend to be ASC. The plan is right up Anton's alley. It's possible for Dandolo or the opposition to help us out too.
One last thing. I was told the High Judge endorses all of Victor's decisions, even though I know for a fact that he hates him, which is more than a bit strange. The judge is such an honest man.
Or if you're in the mood to make a scandal, I've got everything we need. Did you know that Victor employs young women to worm out information on men he keeps tabs on? And I'm not Victor, but I have a feeling he used that info to blackmail these same men. If we can prove it, the Assembly would have a major meltdown. Their beloved colonel, a pimp. To find evidence of his trafficking, we could look for the orders he gave his goons. Have you seen his hands? Far too immaculate to be doing this dirty work himself.
Back in my days as an officer, I ran into a band of girls, and I think this exploited girls topic may interest them. Maybe enough for them to help us.
Indeed. How's this? I've heard that a small faction of the Assembly blindly backs up Victor, no matter how crazy the project is. So I believe it almost certain that their chief of this faction was bribed. So unless we bribe him ourselves, we'll have to silence him.
Yes, we should get to the bottom of this and see if it's serum, dirty laundry, or both. Anton probably knows. And if he is openly corrupt, the opponents of the Assembly should know him well.
All these ideas will indeed cut off Victor from his support network.
But
This is going to sound self-interested, but if we could help the mutants escape from the pen, it would expedite the Colonel's downfall. The people and the Assembly would be outraged to know that after decades of civilized control, Victor was the one who couldn't keep them in check. I'd like to see the Colonel try to justify his mistake of so many slaves, particularly ones notorious for their feeble minds.
No, it's not selfish. It's a good plan. We're gonna help mutants in the pen prepare their escape. After a mass breakout like that, his reputation will never be the same. Thank you, all of you, for the ideas. Now let's make them happen.
Greetings, Zachariah.
Rumor is Aurora's dowser was deposed. I need to know it's more than rumor, though. If it's true, we might be able to convince some members of the Assembly that Victor needs to go.
Even though I don't like the idea of continuing the conflict between Abundance and Aurora that has caused so much suffering, if it's what needs to be done to dethrone Victor, I have a few contacts among Aurora's Technomancers. They're not quite brothers, but they're at least like cousins. And I've heard their messengers nearly always follow one particular shadow path. Let me show you. This one here. If you go, you may be able to stop one of their couriers. If the news you're expecting is as important as you say, I'm sure it will be in the documents they are carrying.
Thanks, Melvin.
Zachariah, I've received a message from Dandolo. He has some information on the disappearance of patients.
Really? Did he learn where he was taken?
The ASC had him locked up in an old dome near Ophir. In his message, he says that it's a dome that Technomancers used to use. Does this sound familiar to you?
Hard to forget. Yes. That's where initiations would take place before a mantis destroyed everything. We'll have to go free him. The place must be teeming with soldiers fighting for Victor. But we can't leave the old Technomancer in their hands. Is something bothering you?
How could you, Zach? An alliance with the largest criminal organization on the planet? What were you thinking? Can't you see they're using you? They'll use your connections to leapfrog to the top of the corporate food chain, and then nobody will be able to stop them.
So you're hoping I fail?
Let's not play that game. You know I want the best for you. But I can't bring myself to work for those crooks. I'm sorry, Zach, but you'll have to go on without me. I think I'll stay in Mutant Valley for a bit, but if you ever need anything but this, come find me. I'll always have your back, Zach. It's just, if I did this, I could never forgive myself for letting the Vori run rampant.
I understand, Nisha. See you later then, maybe.
Ah, now you look like a promising client. If you have serum, you have promise, and I have all sorts of artifacts and merchandise from all sorts of corporations.
Bother you? Using the real, authentic relics as bait?
We'll only be using the minor relics. Novelty items that don't do anything. Could probably find them in any old ruin.
Just because they're novelty items to a Technomancer doesn't make them any less valuable. We want the clergy to believe they're worth dying for.
Exactly why fakes would make people suspicious.
Repent! We won't have access to the Blue Paradise so long as we are not all absolved of our sins. You came here to wash your soul?
I had something else in mind. I heard you had a few relics here.
Yes, they turned this place into a temple. Pray here and you will feel our ties to our ancient fathers. Pray here and you will receive the blessing of the Shadow. And yet, I have been unable to gather all the holy pieces I wanted. You look like a stout young man. Maybe you could help me.
Go on.
In the nearby canyons, there are ancient ruins of our ancestors' dwellings. I have heard that some relics still lay there, but be wary. I'm sure the scavengers have already scoured the area. If you could recover a few for me, I'd bless you 1,000 times over.
I'll see what I can do.
Repent! We won't have that.
I had some... Do you have any relics?
Things from the old settlers? Yeah, a few. 3 in very good condition. If you want them, I'd happily trade for some serum. Lately, I've been running low.
Repent! We won't have access to the Blue
I had something else in mind. I found all the relics that remained in the canyons.
May the Shadow be blessed!
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give them to you. I'm going to need them for an important mission.
You got the information you needed out of me in order to find those jewels, and you dare to not turn them over to me? May the burning eye of the Lord draw you up! Infidel! Traitor! Get out of here!
Welcome, welcome. What's your pleasure? What are you looking for?
I'm looking to buy some ASC uniforms.
Not an easy thing to come by, but if you're willing to pay high enough.
I'll take them all.
That's what I'm talking about. Making business.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
I need your help. I'm trying to compel some assembly members to withdraw their support for Victor.
I thought I made it clear last time. I am not your ally, so try contacting someone who is.
Square one.
Damn, that's weird. But I thought the dome was in ruins. So then, where'd they put that old geezer?
There should be a few standing structures next to the ones that collapsed, unless they've already started clearing the rubble.
That sounds like bad news.
It would be. There were secrets in those ruins. I would rather have stayed buried, especially from the ASC.
That's the problem with secrets. All that time spent worrying about someone finding out, it's a burden that turns into a habit, that turns into obsession. I know you're just as scared about what's in the dome as what patience might reveal. I just hope the old man's still holding on. He's as stubborn as an unfed ostrich. But I don't know if it'll be enough in the hands of the ASC.
These thugs, more like cavemen with bigger sticks, don't understand respect, science, age, or knowledge. Any problem they can't solve, they'll use torture. What's 2 plus 2? I don't know. Let's torture the mathematician and find out. Ugly brutes. If they take power in abundance, they'll turn it into a Darwinistic jungle. A whole group of psychopaths, wanting to take control of everything through mindless violence.
Sounds like this story hits close to home.
It's true. I understand what that poor Technomancer must be going through. The pain. So, I hope we find him soon.
This is where you were initiated.
Yeah, but the dome was in better condition, and the ASC weren't here. There was a giant mantis, though.
A giant mantis? Don't tell me that was part of the initiation.
No, the area had decoys dressed as thieves. The monsters were unplanned, though I learned a lot from the experience. If it weren't for my mask term, I would have died down there.
Must be strange coming back. All the memories.
Patience! Wake up! Patience, come on! Damn it, they almost killed him.
Stop! Let me go. I won't tell you it. Zach? Zach, holy shit, is it really you?
What the hell happened to you?
I was on the way back to my place. There was someone behind me, and before I could turn, he was on me. Next thing I knew, I woke up in a cell. They tortured me for days. Wanted me to talk, wanted me to tell them everything I knew about you. Where you were, what you were doing, what we found.
You figure out what the tablet said?
Unfortunately. If I hadn't, then I wouldn't have been able to tell them anything, but I just finished when they found me.
What did you tell him?
At the beginning I fought, Zach. I did. I fought. Didn't say a damn thing. Then Victor came. And the shit he did to me, Zach, you have no idea. I didn't tell him everything. I didn't, but I had to tell him something. Or I told him what I found in the tablet. Everything. I'm so sorry.
Stop. It's fine. You did what you could. Everyone's got a breaking point. What did it say?
It talked about a giant research base that was able to keep in contact with Earth. They had a beacon and gave the base's coordinates. I mean, the coordinates weren't up to date anymore, so I had to recalculate them, but it's in the South Pole, Zach. It's protected by a huge layer of ice.
If you can walk, we need to get out of here.
I can. Let me try. Just let me rest a minute. Just a minute.
All right, let's untie you and get you out of here.
Must find the City of Ice before they do, Zachariah. If Victor finds the beacon, he could use it to gain the people's trust. Furthermore, if he finds the secrets buried there...
He's got a head start, but we'll catch him.
Aye, aye, Zach. If it's really the City of Ice.
What?
I'll have to make some mods. It'll be tougher than you think. Also, wear an extra layer or two if you don't want to freeze your nuts off.
Big Ice City. Huh. That reminds me of...
A tangent that'll lead to another tangent?
No, Yes, that was it.
What do you think we'll find in that lost city? You know, besides the beacon. I suspect the settlers brought back plants and animals from Earth, and probably left some in that base. And if just a few survived, we could find an ecosystem unlike any on Mars, completely sheltered by the ice.
Meet Patience. We just broke him out of one of the ASC's jails. He could use a place to recover.
Then he is welcome to recover here. Our healers, patients, will be honored to tend to your wounds.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you. All this reminds me of an old hiding spot I had in the desert. Thank you again, both of you.
This is real nice and all, but I don't know about all this.
About what?
I'm guessing you're gonna want to go to that city, right? Right. Problem is, that city's coordinates, according to what Patience said, is the South Pole. Rover's good, but it ain't that good.
Any way to make it that good?
I don't know. Gotta think about it. I mean, it'd need some sort of ice-breaking blade in the front and insulation around the whole thing.
If I know you, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I like your faith in me, but... Problem is, I don't have a damn clue how to add all that heavy shit to the rover's frame without slowing it down like fucking crazy. My dad would have known what to do. Not my dad, though. I knew he'd made improvements to his machines, but I don't remember seeing any diagrams. Though they could be somewhere in the shed. I don't know. Maybe Scott could help us?
We can ask, I guess, then head to the shed with him. See what we find.
Gonna be damn fucking cold out there, Zach.
Maybe we should go borrow some gear from Victor. He's known the site's coordinates a lot longer than we have. Sure, he's built some cold weather equipment already.
I like the way you think, Zach.